Masaito's Rock TV.
Well, speaking of Masa, you know, and the relationship with Japan, when we got signed by Ward Records, you know, part of the contractual deal was a CD, a music CD, and a DVD. So when it came time to record the live DVD, not just because they happened to be from Japan, but we were, you know, where should we film the video? And it was obvious it's got to be our home away from home, which is here. We get our best response here, and like I said about Masa, he's always been a supporter of the band. So, and also, you know, Club CITTA, and they've been behind us. So we said, you know, for the 30th anniversary of the band and CITTA, it would be really cool to do it here. So they came up with a game plan that we would do a couple shows, and they would film it, and we would do a set of Riot 5 stuff, and then we'd do the iconic Thunderstill record. So they brought out, you know, a dozen cameras and stuff like that. So that was the idea, but it was a no-brainer to come here. I mean, the response, I mean, if you watch the DVD, it's like nothing else, you know. It's one of our favorite markets.
Yeah, we have to film in Japan. I mean, Japan has helped Riot, and Japanese people buying the records. The first record release was in Japan, and with Rock City. I mean, it's no better place to film a DVD than here. Yeah. This is the first time. Last night was the first time, and
God
yeah.
help us.
Well, we enjoyed it. We didn't know what it would. I mean, you know, you could sit and you rehearse it, but you don't know what it's like because, you know, half our show is the energy from the audience. So we said, how is this going to work out if we play acoustic? Are we going to feel that from the audience? And I think it worked out fine. You know, I was surprised because Riot music isn't known to be acoustic music. So I said, how am I going to do this on the guitar? How am I going to play without the sustain? And I struggled last night a little bit. I tried to do some of the solos that are up here, and maybe I got to practice more.
They're used to, you know, on the guitar, you know, and then they get an acoustic guitar, you know, so it's a lot different. And trying to, you know, capture Riot unplugged is very tough. You know, we're always known as an aggressive band with that kind of music, but
I felt the songs are there. You know, if you have, like Mark Reale used to say, if it's a good song, you could just play it on acoustic guitar. He said that all the time. So even if you're playing heavy metal, hard rock music, to be a song means you could pick up a guitar, acoustic guitar, and strum it and sing your song. That's a good song. So I said to myself, well, I think we have all great songs, so I think it'll translate. And it did pretty well, I think. I guess the reaction was pretty good, yeah?
It wasn't like a big difference. You know, it was kind of like, okay, it still had the groove and the feel because, you know, I mean, like Mike was saying, a good song is like that. And when we just pulled it down a little bit, you know, and adjusted, but it was definitely different for us. This is the first time, you know. You know, we do everything for the first time here. I mean, you know, it's this.
The other thing too was like we said, well, it's an acoustic, so are we gonna try and play the song differently, or do we try and play it the same on acoustics? And we really weren't sure which way to do it because, you know, we could slow the song down, you could do it half speed. Sometimes Todd was singing an octave lower, so I guess it's something that'll, if we do it more, it could develop. We kind of liked it, right? I mean,
it was cool. It was different because we're used to the chaos going on when we come out, and it was more low key, and the crowd was just in the chair. But they got up and they were rocking out. You know, it was well received. You know, I mean, the songs translated well. I mean, it was a little weird for us because we're not used to it. It was the first time, but it was cool. And, you know, now we have ideas possibly doing a set and, you know, releasing something now. It's kind of cool. But it's something that we don't do. We're you know, loud and aggressive live. We're not quiet Riot. We're loud Riot, okay? Let's get it straight.
Oh, we always have a choice, yeah.
Yeah, I think sometimes Nobu and CITTA, they want to have something a little bit unique along with the regular set. Like when we did Thunderstill, and sometimes they want to bring something a little attractive to the table that's a little bit different.
Well, he called me, hey Mike, guess what? He said, what do you want? They want us to play acoustic. What? Acoustic? We're joking.
I was like, well, we can either learn Privilege of Power or we can play an acoustic set.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it was like, yeah, we don't got time for that. So, yeah, we can, okay, let's think about it, you know. And then basically we didn't really have rehearsals either because we just got off the road. You know, we have another tour planned after this. It's like we were really busy, so we're like, you know, we're not going to be able to like do it. But we figured, you know, that we can put it together. We've been playing together forever, and these guys, you know, they ended up arranging it, the guys from, because me and Todd lived in separate places, but the guys in New York, they put the whole acoustic set list together, and they did a beautiful job. So all we had to do is I just had to come in and play bass underneath them, and Todd had to sing, but they structured it and everything, so it ended up sounding pretty good. It was different, but, you know, it was cool. And but, you know, Nobu was like, you know, he wanted something different, so I said, okay.
I just laughed because Frank says, "Oh, I'll put tambourines on my feet." I said, "What?"
Yeah.
So he has tambourines wrapped around his feet.
Yeah, Frank plays.
He's playing tambourines on his feet. And
he's got the congas and the tambourines. And
it's different.
It's different for a band like us, you know. But one cool thing, and I can brag about the band a little bit, is that we're able to do that. A lot of heavy metal bands can't do that. You know what I mean? But like Mike was saying about the music, you know, we have a lot of, you know, songs that can translate into something like this. So it wasn't like, it was weird for us, but musically it sounded great. We were like, oh, this, you know, it sounds great. You know, so, you know, fortunate for us, you know, everything came out cool. The song choices were good, and we're even going to add a couple different ones today. So
we'll do it different tonight. And I think another thing too is that we're one of the few metal bands that still play in standard tuning. Mm-hmm. So to pick up the acoustic, it's not that different. It's not like we're in drop C, like I know a lot of the metal bands.
They drop down. We're just standard, you know, old school Marshalls 440 and stuff like that.
We're old school with that stuff.
Yeah.
We don't need to drop the guitars to make it heavy.
Hell no.
We thought about, should we take a really fast, heavy one and slow it down? But then we were like, no, I don't think that'll work. So we did pull out a couple of slow songs. We're doing songs we've never played before. Frank is playing piano on a song called In Your Eyes. That was on the Nightbreaker record. One of my favorite Mark Reilly songs of all time. And Todd does a great job singing it.
Yeah.
So we picked that for the acoustic set. Was there anything else picked?
We did that one because we wanted, like you said, the faster stuff is better, you know, for the electric set. So we wanted stuff that, you know, that comes out better, you know, with that kind of vibe, the acoustic vibe. So, and we wanted to pull out a couple treats. We just didn't want to take a previous song and just swap guitars to an acoustic. So, like he said, we did, you know, some of that era of Mike DeMeo and stuff like that, In Your Eyes. And Frankie plays, you know, piano, which is new. And then, of course, you know, Mike wrote on Unleash the Fire, we did 2 tributes to Mark. I wrote Immortal, and he wrote Until We Meet Again. And he felt like that we should do a tribute to Mark Reilly here. And that's a song we've never done. So it's
Last
just
night
for
was the first time we've ever played it.
Yeah.
We didn't really play it in the studio.
No.
You know, because when the recording studio, you do all you record separately. You know, we do drummer, the bass. So it was actually the first time the 5 of us all played it together. So that was, you know, it was hard not to cry during that, you know, because that's a song from Mark.
Yeah, it was like written for him, and very emotional. It was
very difficult, very emotional.
We thought that would be the best song to close with, you know, at the end of the night, you know, paying tribute to Mark and stuff. And the music, you know, not just the lyrical content, the music kind of hits you too, because it was written like that when he wrote it. You know, sometimes the music, you know, can speak to you besides just the lyrics, and Mike did a great job with that. So when we close with it, we will close with it tonight again, you know what I mean?
We'll close the acoustic set, yeah. Yeah, it's making me think now. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe something. We could do something.
Acoustic album.
Yeah, we thought about it. Doing like maybe an acoustic album or something like that. See how it translates to the fans, you know what I mean? Should be cool. Some stuff we've never done. That's what makes it attractive too, like we said. If you just, you know, played the standard songs and just swap electric for acoustic, but doing stuff like In Your Eyes and Until We Meet Again makes it special.
Yeah, the problem I had, any good set that a band does, no matter how much you plan it, you have to develop it. You can practice it, you can write a list, you can think about it. Then you go out on the road and you play it. And then, you know, night by night, you make it better and better and better. And we always tried to do that for Japan. We tried to play, you know, other places, not to put them down, but by the time you get to Japan, your show is ready to go. Now we know what we're doing. We tweaked it, we fixed it. But this was scary because this was our first time doing acoustic. So I wish we could have done 10 shows first. Fix this, yes, no, change this, and then come here after we perfected it, but we didn't have a chance to do that. So.
Yesterday was the first time physically doing it. Flying in, we rehearsed at sound check, and let's roll. So, you know, little things here and there. Sometimes, you know, the audience can't really tell us. We're like, maybe we could fix this, maybe we could slow it down a little, maybe we could change this to it. But just off the cuff, just coming over and do it like that, I think it went over pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, it was pretty cool.
For the circumstances, we did a good job, I think. I think the people enjoyed it, from what they told me. So.
Well, after this, we go back home for about 2.5 weeks, I believe, almost 3 weeks.
Almost 3 weeks, and we go to Europe.
And we go back to Europe again. It was kind of a impromptu thing like this. We were starting to work on the new record. You know, Mike had a dozen ideas, like myself. And then we had these opportunities, and, you know, we always loved to come over here, even if it's just for the weekend. You know, we're just like, we love it. So we didn't question it. We came over, you know, and negotiated it. And then November came about, and it was kind of like, okay, you know, let's hit some more markets. And this one is going to be like almost 2.5 or 2 weeks or something like that, 2.5 weeks. And it covers like Italy and Greece and Spain and Belgium and some markets we've never played, like Bucharest, you know, Romania, and Budapest, and different stuff like that. So that's going to be, you know, beginning of November to mid-November, and then after that, we're taking some time off to continue working on a new record for Nuclear Blast. In the future, right now, the only thing we really know of, like in 2020, is, you know, they announced Bang Your Head. We're going to be on that, and they're working on other stuff. The festivals of next year, like the Sweden Rocks and all that. So we're looking at doing that, and I'm sure we'll return here. You know, again, we have to play Japan once or twice a year, and you know, possibly, you know, a tour opportunity comes up. You know, we'll do something. But that's just searching for festivals right now, and get back to the U.S. maybe. Our own home country, which we don't play anymore, and the people over there, you're never here anymore. It's like, sorry, we'll come back. So 2020, we're going to try to at least get back to the U.S. market a little bit, you know, if we can. My shirt and my hat. This shirt is back in my younger days with my brother Dave McLean, who went on to be in Machine Head and Sacred Reich now. We were influenced by the new wave of British heavy metal, like Iron Maiden and Angel Witch and Exciter and you know, all these bands coming up, Budgie and all that. So we put together a band with a couple cats in Texas, and we liked the power metal kind of band of that era. And so we got together and we ended up playing, and the band was called Slayer. So, and that's where I met Mark. Mark would come down from New York, and he'd want to keep his chops together, and he'd end up jamming with us, and that's the whole connection with me and Mark, and that would take another two hours to explain. But anyway, so Slayer, we got back together. It was a power metal band with a high singer, a little similar to Riot, not as polished, but we released 2 records, Prepare to Die and Go for the Throat, and when we were recording, finishing up the first record, we got a call from Metal Blade and said, hey, there's another band called Slayer, our band. You can't call your band Slayer. And we were like, piss off, you know. We had the name first, you know. And so it kind of got a little bit of a battle for the name. But inevitably, they came down to play this show. We thought it would be funny to do a Slayer with special guest Slayer. You know, and when the guys came, This is before they're huge like they are now. They came out and it was hugs and handshakes, and they were like, hey, the managers are fighting for the name. We don't give a shit, you know, because we're power metal and they're just like Cookie Monster, you know, just, you know, crazy stuff. So they're different styles. So even though it was a different, they were the same names, different style. So we did this show, and a lot of people thought it was like Versus for the name, but it wasn't really that. It was just a show, and it was really cool having them come down to our hometown. It was in San Antonio, Texas, at the Via Fontana, a little venue downtown, and we played the show, and it went great. And you know, we were friends with them. We were staying in touch with them for a while, and the name worked itself out because at the time, like I said, Mark was jamming with us. So what ended up happening is me and Dave and the singer from Slayer, Steve Cooper, we started playing in like Mark Reale's solo project, which ended up becoming Narita, and so we kind of left. So that band, you know, it disbanded, and then Slayer got to keep the name. And so that's where that went, and the rest is history with me with Riot, when Mark called me out of that to continue on the Thunderstill. So that's where this came from. That was one of my first bands right here. And then the hat I got last night from Kaz. I am wearing the Loudness hat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, you know, we're great friends with Loudness. We have much respect. We love their band. They love us. We've known them for a very long time. As a matter of fact, we first toured a Texas tour with Loudness when it was Narita. We were playing with them. That's when I first met Masa and Akira and all of them. It wasn't even Riot. But we have a relationship with them. Whenever they're in my hometown, I jump on stage with them. When we come here, like you saw Masayoshi, he got on stage with us in the live DVD. I don't know if you saw that. And you know, and then we got on their home DVD. Me and Mike got up there and we played Crazy Nights with them. So it's a mutual respect. And when they're here, we give them Riot swag. And then he came last night. It was, I don't know if you know Kaz, he's like their manager and technician. He just brought me some shirts and stuff like that. So, but I love the band too. He loves Akira. He's great friends with Akira when he's here. So it's a guitar player love thing. So
yeah, I love him. Yeah, I listened to the album a lot going through college. The first debut album and stuff after that. So I was a big fan. And I met him in 1990. That's when I first met him. He came to a Riot show. And he took me out afterwards. We wound up going to a club, and actually we both got on stage in a blues club, and we played together and went back and forth, and it was a great night for me. 1990.
You're old.
I know.
Not me.
Thank you very much. Japan is very special in our hearts. Japan helped make Riot. We know that. We respect that. We love the people. I say thank you.
Yeah, I mean, arigato to all the fans who's been with us for, 35 years, and this will always, hold a place in our heart. That's why we come here a lot, and we recorded the DVD for the love. We write songs, Land of the Rising Sun, and stuff like that for the people. We come back for the people. This is probably one of the best markets for the band. So it's a mutual love with the I won't even call them fans, I call them family and friends at this point, because, we have lots of fun, so this is enjoyable for us out of anything we do. So thank you very much. Arigato. Kageyage.
Arigato.